All right, for more on this, let's bring in Nader Hashemi, who's the director of the Center for Middle East Studies at the University of Denver. He's also a non-resident fellow of the organisation Democracy in the Arab World Now, which was the brainchild of Jamal Khashoggi. He joins us by Skype from Cambridge. Can I start by asking you what you make of this rapprochement between two countries where there isn't any lack of bad blood in recent years?
Well, it's driven by the needs of the heads of state of both countries to perpetuate their political rule. In the case of Saudi Arabia, the Crown Prince wants to rehabilitate his image. He wants this type of international exposure. In the case of Turkey and Erdogan, his economy is tanking. It's at, there's economic devastation everywhere, and Erdogan is facing a major re-election next year. And so he wants Saudi investment to try and revive the economy so he has a chance of staying in power.
Is there realistically any guarantee of Saudi investment at this stage, though?
Well, there's been a lot of promises made. We'll have to see whether that actually bears any fruit. I'm skeptical. If you know anything about the Saudi Crown Prince, not only is he a notorious dictator and a murderer of Jamal Khashoggi in a very heinous way, but he also is known to have a deep sense of vengeance against his political opponents. And let's not forget, we know the details of the murder of Jamal Khashoggi largely because the Turkish intelligence services, under the leadership of Erdogan, revealed the information to the world. And so I'm very sure that this has not been forgotten by the Saudi Crown Prince. He would be very happy to see Erdogan lose the next election. So I'm a bit skeptical that he is now interested in trying to, allow the Turkish president to survive politically by helping him with his economic woes.
What does this mean when it comes to continued international pressure on Saudi Arabia when it comes to its human rights abuses and indeed finding a conclusion to the case of the murder of Jamal Khashoggi? By the looks of things, Turkey has eased that pressure and has given Saudi some wiggle room.
Well, absolutely. I think that's the key question here. This is a very sad day for human rights in the Middle East and around the world. For all of the failings of the Turkish president, who's very authoritarian internally, the position that he took on the Khashoggi murder at least forced the Saudi ruling family and the Saudi Crown Prince in particular to pay a price politically, to pay a price internationally. And now all of that has been swept under the carpet. All of that has been forgotten. And so those of us who are active in the human rights community now are seeing that once again, a notorious dictator is able to get away with a gross crime, murdering a journalist, luring a journalist into a consulate, killing him and trying to cover up the crime. So this is a very sad day. I think this is one of the most important aspects of the story that we're talking about. It's been largely ignored in the mainstream press coverage. But for those of us who believe that dictators should be held accountable for their policies, today is not a day that anyone who cares about that particular value is going to be celebrating. So dictators around the world are going to be very happy by what they're seeing. Human rights activists, pro-democracy activists are mourning the events happening in Ankara today.
Nader Hashemi, great speaking to you. Nader Hashemi there, Director of the Center for Middle East Studies at the University of Denver, speaking to us from Cambridge. Thanks.
Thanks.